Hey everyone, Fast Eddie here, and this video is going to be about the 3 dumbest things that I see people put on their bikes or take off their bikes all the time. And whatever reasons you tell yourself of why you do these things, it doesn't make any sense. So number 1 is the exhaust. I already made a video about loud pipe saves lives and how I think that's ridiculous. A piece of a bike cannot save your life. What's going to save your life is taking courses and practicing and wearing full gear. So let's think about this. I wrote down a bunch of things, so based on that video that I made about loud pipe saves lives, about what people were telling me, so this is my thought for exhausts. So first, before all you keyboard cowboy warriors start getting ready to start writing some stuff, I want everybody to understand this. Every single bike I've ever had up until my BMW right now, both the bikes I traded in for the BMW I have now, I put an exhaust on all those bikes. My CBR 1000 had a full Two Brothers exhaust on my CBR 1000. On my Hayabusa, I had a full exhaust, a Brox full exhaust, loud as crap. It sounded really, really good. All the exhausts sound good. Exhausts sound really good on the bikes. On my Speed Triple, I had a Leo Vince, I think. Was that a full exhaust? No, I think that was just a slip-on. And then on my BMW 700 GS, Yoshimura exhaust maybe I had on that, something like that, I don't remember. And then on my DRZ 400 Supermoto, my track bike, that also had an exhaust. So every single one of my bikes before, I put exhaust on the bike because I was just ignorant. I bought my CBR 1000 as a first bike because I was an idiot. And the first thing I did, I wanted to buy an exhaust on it because that's what I thought you were supposed to do, to be cool. I wanted to fit in with a bunch of other people. And the first thing everybody's saying is, when are you gonna get a slip-on for that bike, bro? When you get the exhaust on your bike, bro, you gotta make it sound cool. You get this, get the Yoshimura, get the Two Brothers, get the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I guess these guys are better riders than me. They know more than me. I guess I have to get an exhaust. But I'm wearing jeans, right? So it doesn't really make too much sense. So the cost of it, number 1, I went up and I added all of the money I spent on all the exhausts. I spent over $6,000, $7,000 on exhausts for all those bikes. And guess what? People still cut me off, people still didn't hear me, people still didn't pay attention to me no matter how loud my bike is because people are idiots and they're idiots. The sound's going the wrong direction, you're going this way. Even if they hear a really loud bike, that doesn't really mean they know where you're coming from. And somebody said, well, ambulances are really loud and they have sirens and lights, so people hear and see them. Yeah, it's the law you have to move over for an ambulance. There's no law saying just because your bike is loud, people have to move. I've had the opposite effect on me. When I had a loud exhaust on my CBR 1000 or my Speed Triple or my 700 GS or my Hayabusa that had all these exhausts on there, I had the opposite happen. People would purposely cut me off because it just reinforces the stereotype of a big, stupid exhaust on an inexperienced rider who's just a reckless idiot on a motorcycle. It just reinforces that stereotype. So whenever I hear people go up and down the beach or the streets and they're just revving their exhaust up and doing all this kind of stuff, I'm just like, well, you just keep on reinforcing what people hate about motorcycles in general. I don't care if you're on a big old Harley and you're just blah, 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 really loud, setting off car alarms, and that's cool to some people, I guess. Or you're on the sport bike going back and forth in first gear at 40 miles per hour, just screaming the bike for some reason. It just makes all of us look stupid. So the cost of it, right? I spent all that money on the exhaust and it didn't do anything to me. Still had people cut me off. It's a big waste of money. So a lot of times, if I were to go buy exhaust on my bike right now, if someone gave me money for free, let's say someone sends me a check right now for $900, because that's how much a slip-on exhaust costs for my bike. If somebody sent me a check right now for $900 and say, okay, buy an exhaust, you think I'm gonna spend $900 on exhaust? You think I would do that? I would immediately go back to American Super Camp, SoCal Supermoto, Moto Ventures, Star School, Yamaha Championship Racing School, California Superbike School. I would take another course to invest in myself. That is what is gonna make you better. Taking more courses, practicing more, and not just the same course over and over again. You could do that, but take a bunch of different courses. I've been through SoCal Supermoto 4 times, but I've also been through 18 other different courses. That's the only way you're gonna improve your riding, is taking more courses by instructors. So keep that in mind. I have been teaching motorcycle classes, the basic all the way through advanced level stuff since December 2014. And every single class that people show up on their own bike, almost all of them have some kind of exhaust on their bike, or the other two things that I think are dumb, and it doesn't make any sense, and they're not too good of riders. I don't care if these people have been riding for 15 years, 20 years, because I was teaching for the military, a lot of them had to take a course just so they could ride on base. And they just come in with the attitude of, I'm teaching the total control intermediate riding clinic. I have to be here because my command says I have to be here to ride on base. So this is just a check in the box, and this is stupid, and I already know how to ride, and blah, blah, blah. Right? And that's their attitude. And then we start doing the first exercise, and they realize they suck. And they actually cannot stop really good. They can't corner the bike. They can't do low speed maneuvers. They can't swerve. They can't do faster speed turns. They cannot control the bike at all. It's amazing how they even got there without crashing. But they got the cool exhaust, and they got all this other crap on there, and they're wearing jeans and Chuck Taylors or whatever. I'm like, that's an interesting choice you're making with your money. Putting money into a bike that you can't even ride in the first place because you think courses are stupid and you have the attitude of I don't want to learn anything. So it's not going to save your life, right? It ain't going to do that. For a whole week before, a couple years ago, my buddy let me borrow his electric bike for a week. And I rode on the electric bike, and it was a whole lot of fun. I had all black gear on. And I was safer than someone riding around with the full exhaust. Well, how is that possible? People are like, well, if loud pipes save your life, does that mean electric bikes are the most dangerous bikes in the world? Of course not. It's all about your decision making and line selection, where you place yourself, how you make yourself visible in the lane or not. Because most people, whenever something happens, they immediately blame the car. This car cut me off. This car did this. It's all their fault. Well, actually, it's a big sign of maturity when your first thought is, what could I have done something? Could I have done something different to make this happen? Maybe I wasn't in the best lane position. Maybe I was going a little bit too fast. Maybe I wasn't in the best spot for them just to have the opportunity to see me. So it's not always the car's fault. Most of the time, it's your fault. It's just operator error. But if you think a piece of metal is going to save you or save your life or do anything for you, you're mistaken. And I've had so many people comment and email, and you don't even have to do any of that stuff. They told me all the stories in the world you could possibly think of. There was a deer coming, and I revved my engine and it ran back away. Your horn could have done the same thing. It's all ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Plus, with all those bikes that I had, I don't have them anymore. All the bikes that I had, I traded them in for another bike, and it lowered the trade-in value because I didn't have the original stock parts on there. So there's another negative thing about it. Plus, once I buy the exhaust, and I'm in California, if you're in California and buy an exhaust, any exhaust on a car or a motorcycle that amplifies or make the bike louder than what it was, it's automatically illegal. So now I just spent $600 on exhaust. I think it's really cool. It's going to save my life. But then I get pulled over and the cop gives me a fix-it ticket. Say, hey, that's not a stock exhaust. It's louder than what it was stock. So now it's automatically illegal. I don't care what kind of exhaust it is. I don't care if you bought it legally for the state. It doesn't matter if the dealer put it on. It does not matter about any of that stuff. It is written in the vehicle code, California vehicle code. If the exhaust on that you put on, that's aftermarket, that's not stock, if that exhaust is louder than what it was previously, it's automatically illegal. So now you have to take off the thing, and now you have a however many pound piece of metal that's just sitting in your garage, and you have to find the stock exhaust to put back on in the first place. So every reason that someone has ever given me to try to justify, convince themselves it's a good idea, it doesn't make any sense. You could always spend the money that you're going to buy the exhaust on way more important stuff, like gear, or more courses, or both. So if you have any other thoughts about, well, my exhaust did this, don't even have to comment, because I've heard every single thing you could think of, and people with the loudest bikes, I've seen people that are absolutely horrible. I've seen people that are really, really good riders, and they have an exhaust on their bike. Fantastic, that's amazing. But I guarantee the goodness of the rider doesn't have to do with the bike. Will the loud exhaust help you stop faster? If you put an exhaust on your bike, can you automatically do black belt in MotoJitsu? Can you automatically do coral belt, which is all the belts put together now with the passenger? If you put an exhaust on your bike, does that mean you could automatically corner better? Does that mean you're not going to crash if you have to swerve at 70 miles per hour when a mattress flies out of the back of a guy's truck? Is the exhaust going to do anything for you for any of those situations? Absolutely not. So again, it's pointless. The second big thing that people do, and I don't know why they do this is just as dumb, if not dumber than the exhaust. You take your mirrors off your motorcycle. People take off their mirrors. Now I know, well in California anyway, one mirror is the only thing legally required, and that is on your left-hand side. You can put a mirror on there. So a lot of people take off their mirrors, and they put this little tiny circle mirror just on their handlebar, little handlebar extension. Well, first of all, it's making your bike wider, which is making it harder to lane split. So that's just dumb in and of itself. But now you have this little tiny circle mirror thing here that you could barely see anything out of. Well, you could have one mirror on the left-hand side, but the key thing is, in the California Vehicle Code, you have to be able to see 300 feet behind you. So if you can't see 300 feet behind you, bam, you're gonna get a ticket for that if you get pulled over. But not even considering pulled over. Let's just say you just can't have much awareness if you don't have any mirrors on your bike. How can you be fully aware of anything that's not right here, which is what, 40% of your vision is just all right here, your peripheral looks side to side a little bit, but the rest of it, you're gonna have no clue about because you took your mirrors off. So what if you're riding on the twisty roads or whatever, or down the street, and your buddy gets hit, or your buddy goes down behind you? How long is it gonna take you for you to finally be like, oh, we're at a stop sign, where's my friend? Oh, he's 3 blocks down, he got smashed by a car because my stupid self took off the mirror so I can't see behind me. Let's say you're at a stoplight, and automatically people put their bikes in neutral, which is a dumb idea. Keep your bike in first gear, look in the mirrors. Look in the mirrors to make sure that person behind you is actually stopping. You know how many people I have witnessed sitting at the stoplight or at the stop sign, they're sitting there and a car, bam, they slam right into them. So you're not gonna have the time to pull in the clutch, hit it down the first gear, and take off fast, all in the split second it's gonna take for someone who's not watching or paying attention to you. You're not gonna be able to take off that fast. So one of my third most popular videos, how to take off fast and why it's important. It's not only to be able to take off fast just for whenever you want to, if there's cars or someone, whatever the situation dictates, but also if you're at a stoplight or you're just behind somebody and they're coming up behind you, if you have to do an emergency braking, like say some car blows a stoplight, right? If you have to stop really, really fast because the car just went through the stoplight, well, the car behind you that didn't expect that to happen either, you were able to stop because you practiced and you're good. The car wasn't paying attention to that, and so now you're dead stop. They're about to hit you, so you have to be able to also take off really fast. But how are you supposed to know if that car is coming up really close or not if you took your mirrors off? So it's pretty silly to take your mirrors off. It doesn't make any sense. Leave the mirrors on the bike. How you cannot have awareness. You will be, it just doesn't make sense. So whatever reason you have, I took the mirrors off because of, I want to save weight, bro. That 2 pounds of mirror saves me a lot of weight because I'm a faster rider without it. All this kind of stuff. I hear people say this. So I'm not just making fun of like general people. The things that I say, I've heard people told me face to face. I've been teaching courses like, yeah, the first thing I want to do is take my mirrors off because, you know, it doesn't do any good anyway, and I'm saving weight. I'm just looking at them like, okay, interesting, okay. So that's number 2. The last thing is the license plate. People take their license plate, especially on sport bikes, so there's 2 problems, either sport bikes or other types of bikes. Sport bikes in particular, I see a lot of people take their license plate and like put it way underneath the seat and down, so it's like, so here's the rear wheel, right? And the license plate is like back behind it, so you can only see half of it because people are trying to hide their license plate. If a cop is behind you and they can't fully see and read the license plate in California, it has to be horizontal. It can't be up and down. That's the other problem. If they can't fully read it 100%, you're getting pulled over immediately and there's a fix-it ticket. Or they'll just give you not even a fix-it ticket. They'll write you up for the citation. And then if they're pulling you over and you have your license plate hidden, well, they're just going to start digging for everything else. Well, you don't have your mirrors on the bike. Is that an aftermarket exhaust, license, registration, insurance? You don't have any other stuff on you? More tickets, more tickets, more tickets. If you have your license plate hidden behind your rear wheel, you might as well have a neon glowing sign on your back that says, please pull me over. Because that is the easiest thing for anybody to see and be like, oh, there's my probable cause for pulling you over. So be like, man, the cops always mess with me, bro. I get pulled over all the time, man. Cops always mess with me. Cops hate bikers, bro. Always pull me over. Well, you don't have a license plate on your bike, stupid. They're not pulling people over for fun. You don't have a license plate. Probable cause right there. Your license plate is blocked. Probable cause. They're pulling you over. It's simple stuff. You don't have any mirrors on your bike. Probable cause. Pull you over. How about you don't give anybody a reason to mess with you? How about that? That would make probably more sense, right? So people do that. So that's one problem. They just hide it. Don't hide the license plate. Make sure it's completely visible. In California, it has to be horizontal. You can't have it up and down. So that's the problem with cruiser bikes. They take their license plate and they turn it vertical. And then again, ignorance. That's what people say. Man, stupid cops. They're always messing with bikers, man. They pulled me over again. Why'd they pull you over, man? I don't know. There's no reason. Blah blah blah. What was the ticket for? Because my stupid license plate is up and down versus for. It's written in the vehicle code. Why don't you just go to any store or go on Amazon and type in California vehicle code and actually educate yourself to figure out what's actually in there or not? How about you do that? The license plate must be horizontal in California. So if your license plate is vertical, there is probable cause for cops to pull you over. And if they happen to find a whole bunch of other stuff, they give as many tickets as they want. Okay, your license plate is vertical instead of horizontal, there's one ticket. Now your loud pipes that's just destroying the peace and it's louder than the stock exhaust, there's your second ticket. You have no mirrors, third ticket. You have no license on you, fourth ticket. You don't have any insurance, you can't prove your insurance, fifth ticket. The bike's not even registered, awesome, sixth ticket. Why do you give people a reason? Why do you give cops a reason to pull you over? They have way more important things to do than to worry about a motorcycle going down the road with license plate vertical instead of horizontal. But they're not messing with you for fun. You give them the reason. It's probable cause if your license plate is like that. If it's not visible, if it's blocked in any way, if it's bent up, like sometimes here's the license plate, right? And then you can see it perfectly fine like this, but people bend it up. So then you can't see it. Again, you're just telling cops, hi, pull me over. I love to get pulled over. Obviously, because I'm bending my license plate so that way, people can't see it. It's really ridiculous. So a couple things to think about. Everything that I just said. I know there's a lot of people just getting their fingers ready because this is all they do all day and just go brrr, and they just start typing. They just start typing because their haters gonna hate. That's fine. So first thing, do as you wish. It is your life. You can do whatever you want to do. And keep in mind, if I see or hear a bike right now with shorts and a t-shirt go down the alley, shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops, no gloves, and a half helmet, on a bike that has the loudest exhaust in the world, no mirrors, no license plate, nothing. They're just driving back and forth. You think that is gonna bother me? You think that's gonna... Nobody has the privilege, the right, the capability to make me upset or to make me happy or to make me discouraged or mad or whatever else. I hold that right for myself. I do not give anybody the ability to do that. So a lot of times people think I'm mad about something. Like this guy made me mad. I can't believe this guy wrote a comment about me. All these misspelled comments I get is hilarious. This is a comedy show, right? So I'm on my computer, I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting. Because a lot of the times I just delete the comments because the ignorance of some people is mind-boggling. So it's not even worth the time. But sometimes it's fun, just like it's fun to watch Jerry Springer sometimes, you just like to watch chaos. So sometimes it's fun to get involved with chaos, and I reply back to some people and see how far the rabbit hole goes down. Then it gets to the point where like, okay, this is enough. But it's just entertainment, like Jerry Springer. So I'm not actually mad. So do whatever you want to. So keep in mind, the people that would do something like that, they're the 10% of people that aren't watching my videos anyway. They could care less. They think they're the best riders in the world and nothing's gonna happen to them, and maybe they crashed, maybe they didn't, whatever. Because it's a really bad thing in the motorcycle culture that people equate that you're a really good rider if you didn't crash. Because I've heard so many people when I'm teaching, especially on military bases, I hear so many people, well, I never crashed before they're a young pup, and I've been riding 33 years. So what? Does that mean you're a good rider? Nope, you actually failed the course today, Slick. Have fun going back to your colonel or your sergeant major and telling them you failed and you have to come back and take the course again. Now you can't ride on base. Yeah, you failed. You failed the written portion and you failed the riding portion of this whole entire day. You're not getting the completion card. Nope, you failed. You have to take it again. And then they get all mad. Oh, why did I fail? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that 32 years of experience really doesn't mean anything because you actually don't know what to do. Just because you didn't crash your motorcycle before does not mean you're a good rider. I want everybody to really, really understand that. And I hope to change that perception for every rider. Just because you didn't crash and say you've been riding 50 years, that does not mean you are a good rider. I know so many people have never crashed before, and I could not pay them $1,000 and they could complete blue belt in MotoJitsu. They just would not be able to do it. They're not good riders. Just because you didn't crash does not mean you're good. So the 10% of those people that do all this kind of crap to the bike or do whatever, either they're just ignorant and they're unaware and they didn't know any better, or maybe they're peer pressured with their friends to all look the same. So if I show up to a meetup group and I'm on a sport bike and everybody else is on sport bikes and they all have exhaust and they all took their mirrors off and they all have their license plate hidden and I'm the only oddball out, that's a lot of pressure to be different, and people want to fit in. People always want to fit in with each other. People don't want to feel like an oddball. You want to feel like one of the boys. So you buy exhaust and you take off your mirrors and you put your license plate bent up and everything else, right? A lot of other things. So if you want to do something to your bike, and you have so much money. You already have so much money. You take all these courses. You took 100 courses. You have the best gear in the world, and you still have money. You still have that much money burning a hole in your pocket. You want to do something beneficial for your riding that'll actually make a difference? Upgrade the suspension. That's a really good idea. Upgrade the brakes. If your levers are not adjustable in order so you could like trail brake, like on Lila's KTM, right? The KTM 390 Duke, the levers that were stock on there, her hands are small, so she couldn't really reach up to the front brake lever in order to trail brake. So we got different levers for her bike just so she could trail brake. Because trail braking is not a braking technique, it's a high-speed cornering technique. In the Total Control Advanced Riding Clinic Level 1, which I teach, the whole entire day is all about 7 keys to cornering. Not braking, 7 keys to cornering. And trail braking is the very first exercise you learn how to do after throttle. Trail braking is a high-speed cornering technique. It's not a braking technique. So if you want to do something beneficial, suspension, brakes, if your tires are really bad, you get better tires. And if the levers are unadjustable, you could get adjustable ones just so you could start to learn how to trail brake. So that's really, really good. It's really beneficial to learn how to do that. So keep that in mind. So courses, gear, and practice, like anything else, those 3 things will make you a better rider and they'll keep you safe. Leave the hardware alone. Always upgrade the software. The bike is fine. The bike is totally fine, totally capable. You don't have to do anything to it. However, if you actually want to be a good rider, and what I mean by good is you could actually handle your bike. You could put your bike right there. You could do a U-turn. You could do high-speed cornering. You could go in traffic. You could lane split. You could do anything you want to do. You're able to control your bike, and you could jump on that guy's bike and that guy's bike. You're able to control a motorcycle because you understand the techniques. That's what a good rider actually is. I crashed one time on the public road, and I crashed on the track. Actually went down and crashed on the track. And I probably tipped my bike over practicing low speed stuff, 10 times. So how good you are depends on how many times the bike hit the ground. My bike hit the ground whenever I'm riding, 15 times total. So does that mean I'm not a good rider? So just because you didn't crash doesn't mean you're good. Again, before people start going crazy, you could always ignore the video. You could always just click something else and you don't have to comment or say anything. So if you really feel like, oh, Fast Eddie didn't think about this guy didn't think about this about the exhaust, so I'm gonna justify myself for spending $800 on this exhaust, even though I'm riding around in jeans and a t-shirt with no armor and blah, blah, blah. This is gonna be the one thing that's gonna make him change his mind. Please save your energy. It's entertaining, but it's ridiculous. There's no point. So please stop doing these 3 things. If you see someone, a new rider, and if the first thing out of your mouth to mentor or help out this new rider is you start talking about an exhaust or taking your mirrors off so it looks cool or fender eliminator kit to hide the license plate, understand you're a big part of the problem because maybe that rider was not going to do that, but now you're pressuring them into doing that. You want to do, because peer pressure can be used in a positive way. How about if you're a good rider, how about you encourage people to take a course? How about you go with them to the course? How about you go with them to the motorcycle shop and help them pick out better gear, better armor? That's how you could be a good mentor. That's how you could lead by example. So if you're the one doing that, it would be better that you just did not speak. That's the only reason why you should talk, if it's better than actual silence. Because sometimes silence is way better than speaking at all. Just keep that in mind. Which is ironic because I make YouTube videos. However, I have a whole playlist of me just sitting there watching the sunset or anything else, because in a world full of talking, not many people are comfortable or able to just be quiet. So if what you're saying to a newer rider isn't encouraging them to do something actually beneficial for their abilities to keep them safe, you're also a part of the problem. Even though it's their choice, their money, their life, their bike, if you're encouraging someone to make silly decisions, you're part of the problem, right? So don't be on that side of the equation. Again, upgrade your software. It's always technique over technology. It's always what you've learned over the bike. Stop buying exhaust, doesn't make a damn difference. Keep your mirrors on the bike so you can actually see what's going on, and make sure your license plate is visible so you don't get messed with by cops or anything else. And then all the other mods that people do, you put lights on your bike and this and carbon fiber and all this kind of silliness. If it's not going towards upgrading yourself by courses, gear, and practicing, you could get cosmetic stuff. They just might like it. Maybe a seat is really uncomfortable. You buy a different seat. That's perfectly fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things that you think are gonna help you be a better rider, are the things that are ridiculous. A seat is not gonna make you a better rider, obviously, but you don't buy a different seat because you think it's gonna make you a better rider. You buy a better seat because it's more comfortable, and that's perfectly fine. No problem. Why not? No problem whatsoever. But think how ridiculous it would be for someone to say, I'm gonna buy this better seat, and let's say it's a gel seat. Gel seats save lives. Let's say that was a slogan. Everybody would look at that person like, that's the dumbest thing I ever saw in my life. I never heard, that's the stupidest thing in the world. That's how I think about when I see the slogan or hear people say loud pipes save lives. It's just a part of the bike. That's not gonna do anything to save your life. It won't. It just will not. It's ridiculous. All right, so there we are. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of questions, and that's perfectly fine. However, just keep in mind, it all depends on the level of stupidity if I'll reply back or not, or I might just delete your comments because it's not worth anybody's time. Because I get a lot of those as well. You do not believe how many emails I get of people saying all kinds of stuff. One little example, and then I'll end the video. So I did that review of the 2018 G310, that BMW little bike, right? And someone emailed me and was like, hey bro, how much money did you get paid by BMW to do that review? If anybody thinks I got paid to make a review about that bike or anything that I do, you win the award of all-time dumbest comment. Of course I didn't get paid to do anything. Why would I get paid to do that? Just like Tesla, everybody knows Tesla, right? Tesla pays no money for advertisement because if you love something, you're gonna talk about it. People wanted me to do that review of the bike since, I'll tell you, I wrote this down on my calendar. People wanted me to do the review of that bike since the live Q&A number 16, which is November 7th. I just hadn't gotten around to it. So I finally went to it, I wrote it, and I just gave my honest opinion about what I think about the bike. If the bike were to suck, or I think a lot of things are just cheap made and doesn't feel right, then I would have said exactly that. I didn't get paid by BMW. Why would they pay me to do that? It doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid. And I already told you guys before, so if you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. If this is the first video you're watching. But people send me emails all the time. Hey bro, hey Fast Eddie, I love your videos. So usually when it starts off like that, I'm like, this is some kind of advertisement. I got this amazing cleaner that could clean your chain and your bike and everything. I'll be willing to send you a bunch of free crap and you can make a video about it and do a review. I'm never gonna do that. That's not anywhere near my goal of what I'm trying to do with this whole entire channel. So I'm never gonna make a video of me saying, hey, check out this product. It's amazing. You should buy it too. I think that's just stupid. So there we are. That person's email, and I got 2 emails like that. Two separate people emailed me asked me, oh, that's why you did that video, because you got paid by BMW to do it. It's breathtaking inanity. That means it's so stupid it takes my breath away that someone would think I got paid by BMW to do that. No, sorry. I just wear what I wear, like my gear. Like I talk about climbing because I just like it and I think it's good quality. I could care less if you buy it or not, do whatever you want to do. I think the bike is a well-made bike, and I think it's a better bike than a lot of other bikes. Therefore, that's what I said in the video. So, anyways, thanks for watching as usual. Don't forget to check out my all the playlists. I just made a new playlist, so hopefully when you're navigating through all 400 videos, it helps you try to figure out what you're looking for by going through the playlist. I know the playlists still have a bunch of videos, but you may have to only search through 50 versus 400. So hopefully that helps you guys out. So thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next time.